to everyone joining us. Just give us a few minutes while we sort of get everybody into the room. Some attendees are just streaming in, and we've also gone live on Facebook, which I think will also take about a minute to go live, and then we'll get our this nice chit chat session started. Okay, we are also live on Facebook now, and I think then without much further ado, let me just get this session started. Welcome everyone again. My name is Cash. I'm from PitchIN. You can see that from the words right behind me. And we're an equity crowdfunding platform. Right? So we've been having these sessions quite often over the last 2 months. Right? So some of you may have attended some of these sessions, and some of you are maybe coming in for the first time. Right? So we're an equity crowdfunding platform, and we do deals. Right? We help a lot of companies to raise money for their business in exchange for shares. Right? So if you go to our platform, you'll see we always have deals running, and we've got other deals coming up soon. Right? So all of these are companies, they are growing, and typically fast-growing companies who want to raise money, grow their business, to expand, or to launch new ventures. Right? And what I have here today is Jerome Teh, the founder of SecondLifeAsia, one of the co-founders. Jerome is the CEO, and small fun fact, we both know each other for a very, very long time. So Jerome comes from the mobile industry, which I'm sure he'll tell you in a short while later. So Jerome comes from the mobile industry, and I was also involved in the industry many years ago. So we met each other a long time ago. So whatever he tells you later about his credentials in the mobile industry, I can vouch for it. Right? So he was a very good executive. So hello, Jerome. So our session today is going to be very light and easy. We have Jerome who will share his pitch. If you go to our website, you will see that SecondLifeAsia is actually live on the platform. So they've been raising money. They already have investors on board, and they're looking to, of course, get a few more investors before they close their deal. And so Jerome will be presenting his offer. If you were to look, those of you who are here on Zoom, you will know that you can actually send questions and answers, right? So you have this section here called questions and answers. So you can put up your questions, and I will share them and probably ask Jerome to answer the questions. You can also raise your hands after the presentation, and once that happens, I can probably allow you to also speak and ask your question live. Now, those of you who are on Facebook, no worries. I'm sure one of my colleagues is there. And if there are any questions that come up on Facebook, they will relay to me, right? So we're going to keep it light and easy. And without much further ado, let me call on Jerome, the CEO of SecondLifeAsia, to make his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Kash. Thank you for the great introduction. Sorry. Share. Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. So happy that you could take the time to spare 30 to 40 minutes with us. Today, I want to share with you about the story of SecondLifeAsia and how it came about and what's the company about. Without further ado, I'll start because I want to keep it short and sweet. Story of SecondLifeAsia. Well, what are we trying to fix? Our problem statement is quite simply very much an Apple user problem. So for the longest time, if you're an Apple user, you will realize that it actually takes too long to obtain service and internet, especially with iPhones, not to mention MacBooks and iPads. I just focus on iPhones for now. Case in point, 2018, when Apple was caught with the scandalous battery debacle, they had an offer of 138 ringgit for you to change your battery. And what happened? All the authorized center was asked to do that. And of course, when you walk in and do a submission to change your battery, they'll tell you 7 to 10 working days. literally 7 to 10 working days to change your battery. And why is that? Well, I will share with you why. Number one is the lack of skill set. Obviously. Number two, they don't keep spare parts. So literally they need 7 to 10 working days to courier it to somewhere, get it done, and then send it back to you. So my question is that nobody can live without their digital device for 7 to 10 working days, much less their phone. MacBook probably, iPad probably, but definitely not their phones. Okay. And so what about SecondLifeAsia? What we're trying to solve is that we are able to do all those solve all the problem statements that is there, which is the lack of skill set, the 7 to 10 working days whereby we will do it within a day, the low quality and OEM parts, or the expensive services charges, or most importantly, the lack of warranty or zero warranty itself. I don't want to mention the third parties because there's so many out there that is actually doing dodgy stuff, right? So basically, I just leave it at that. I just compare ourselves with authorized service center. Okay, take us to the next slide. Why are we about? We are about is because how did we come about? How did we come about? Is because we actually went into a partnership back in 2018 with a highly experienced international principal.
Jerome, if I may jump in,
Sorry.
your slide is not moving. Maybe you need to do the presentation deck.
Is it moving now? Sorry.
No, it's not moving.
Okay, hang on.
Okay, now it moved. Yes, now it's moving. Okay.
Okay, is it moving?
Yes, it is now. It's a problem statement now.
Problem statement. This one? Now?
No, it's still a problem statement.
Oh.
Yeah, maybe you want to try to see whether you can do a presentation rather than the...
I am on a presentation mode at the moment. Can
I can see your slide presentation. You are now a partnership. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, partnership now.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So move.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
How we came about is because we went into a partnership with a highly experienced international principal. They're already in business doing the same thing for the last 15 years. 3 years before that was on BlackBerry, and now they move on to Apple. So their current partners are AT&T, Sprint, Verizon, T-Mobile, Telefonica, Vodafone. The companies you see are very much catered to North America, South America, and some of Europe, so the Latin American part of Europe. So they have a facility set up. Their facilities is in Shenzhen, in Wuhan, and of course one in the States, in Puerto Rico. Literally, their setup is actually in Foxconn. They're a subsidiary of Foxconn. So the reason why we are partnered with them is because we need the skill set and we need the facilities, the training, the yearly upgrade of training, which is why that's why we are set up this way. Okay, what's our objective? Well, our objective is obviously we want to redefine and disrupt the market because in Southeast Asia market, right, first time we now have an opportunity to introduce carrier grade service on top of carrier grade devices into the market. Because if you look at Lazada, your Shopee, if you walk into Digital Mall, Laoyat, or Section 14 Digital Mall, you'll realize that there are all kinds of phone vendors out there. There are people who are hawking their stuff as grade AAA, grade A, grade ORI, grade B, grade C. You just have to go on Facebook, you probably see it. So a lot of all these devices all has been cannibalized. In fact, a lot of them are stolen sets, some are stolen sets, and some requires turbo SIM to work. So there are a lot of all these, I would say, non-level playing field. So what we're trying to do is that we want to introduce only one thing, which is carrier grade service. The reason why we can introduce the carrier grade service is because of our partner, because they are already doing this business with the carriers in the States. So if the carriers in the States can afford it, why can accept it? Malaysian market should be able to accept it. Sorry, when I say Malaysian market, I mean the Southeast Asian market as well. Okay. How are we differentiated from the rest? Okay. We started off by ensuring that we build an app. This app actually has a diagnostic tool and evaluation tool. What it works is that this app is actually an app that you can download for free on App Store now. You can diagnose the condition or the health of your device or your phone, and then from there you can evaluate the values of your phone in terms of the trading, because we intend to go into the trading market as well. Not only a phone, but it's also for iPad because it works on iPad, and soon it will be hopefully on an iWatch. We are working towards that, Apple Watch, sorry. So on top of that, then it has a marketplace. So basically, it does as an evaluation, appraisal, and it certify your device that it's not damaged, or so that you can get a better training or a better evaluation. So what we usually do is that we always get our customers to just download the app and diagnose the device. Then they all know what is damaged and what is not damaged. So it's very transparent, so that when you send in the device, nobody is going to tell you that, oh, you need to change this and this and this because it's all damaged. No, we don't do that, because the app itself will show us as well. So what we are able to tell the customers and where the areas that they need to repair. So on top of that, the app is also for us to move into new businesses in the future, because the app, as I said, it has a marketplace, so it has a payment channel and that. So we intend to go into leasing of iPads, MacBooks, and other devices via this app as well. And most important thing, what the app is supposed to do is it tracks warranty of every devices that's been repaired or sold by us. So it's actually a warranty tracker. Rather than a piece of paper, you have an app. So don't delete the app. Okay. What's our USP? Well, I mentioned some already, but I will reiterate. What we're trying to do is that we totally change the game, or the repair, or the RMA of the industry. First thing, we have the app. Second thing, we only do certified factory parts. The reason why we do certified factory parts is only 100% certified factory parts is because we offer 12 months warranty for all the devices and all the repairs that we do, right? So definitely no one in the market will do that. Not last but not least, we also do waterproofing or water resistance. Our setup is a facility which has a clean room with a dust-proof and water resistant. So what we're trying to do is we try to re-engineer it back to your original state. Obviously, electronics and water doesn't mix, so don't go swimming with it, right? Last but not least, what we're trying to do is that zero downtime. So we will try to minimize your downtime as to what our current industry can't. So because when you send it in, it takes 7 to 10 working days. So your downtime is 7 days without your phone. So what we do is that we offer same-day repair. And for our customers, if we can't repair within the same day, we offer you a spare unit you can use until the day that we repair it. Then you can swap it back with us. So that's what we do. Okay. So what do we do? Well,
I can't see your deck again. It's just stuck at partnership.
Interesting. Sorry. In that case, why don't I don't run it on a
now it's moving. Now it's moving. Run it that way. Run it that way.
I run it this way now. Yeah.
Okay.
So the company was set up in 2018. That's where the idea came from. That's where our partners came to Malaysia. We brought them to meet up with all the operators, and then from there we decided to, let's build this facility. We do it step by step. We don't have to build a stadium on the first day, but we do step by step. So, which is why the idea of building the service center came about. We launched this service center back in December 2019, just a few months ago. And then we started doing proof of concept, right, for the service center. So on the service center, it has on-site repair, certified factory parts, clean room facility, and professional customer experience technical crew. So you can find us at SS2. That's where the prime location of SS2, where we open our first service center. We intend to open another one, which I'll talk about later a bit more. But our service center is a proof of concept that a single stop shop for everything under the Apple family, you can say. So we do repair iPad, phones, MacBook, Apple Watch, and iMac. Okay. So, as I mentioned earlier, we built the service center, which is our proof of concept. And then so now we go to market. Let me share with you how this came about. Okay. This project came about is because, as I mentioned, back in 2018, our principal came. We met up with a few of the operators. Because our background is from operators, so we met up with a few of the operators, And the operators actually said that, you know what, go build the proof of concept, which is the repair facility. We show us that you are able to repair everything under the sky for Apple. So which is why we went backwards, we worked backwards and built the proof of concept. So our proof of concept is built now, so it's live. You can find us at SS2 SSA. And our setup is very much geared towards enterprise business, not so much for retail. Yes, we are doing retail, our doors are open, we do social marketing, social media marketing whereby retail customer comes in, but we are actively engaged in the enterprise business. I will talk a bit more about the enterprise business bit, whereby our focus. So we engage with quite a lot of SME markets to either repair, maintain, and service, and even sell them iPads, MacBooks, or lease them iPad, MacBooks, and even devices. So that's our main target market, because we realize that majority, there's a gap here that's not being filled, because majority of the Apple resellers, which is your machines and your Mac City, Mac Studios, they are only selling. They don't do RMA. They don't repair and maintain. So that's an area that we are actively pursuing. So we are pursuing companies which purely uses MacBooks or partly MacBooks. So there's a lot of them, and so we are maintaining it for them. So I'll name a couple of them later. Okay. Why are we differentiated, and why these companies are willing to work with us? Because we offer a authenticity certificate. Remember I mentioned we have a diagnostic tool, right? We have this tool, an app. It's an app and it's also a tool whereby I can basically plug in and scan through every devices. So the device, the app itself or the tool itself will tell me whether has this device been tampered with. So before we even accept a trade-in in the near future, for example, we will be able to do the same. We plug it in, we'll know whether has this device been tampered with, the screen has been changed, the battery has been changed, the motherboard has been changed, so all those things. So basically, we are able to do that. So in return, what we do is that we offer the same to our customers and our SMEs as well. So before they take a device, a MacBook or an iPad or iPhone or whatever, on Apple device, they get the same certificate. So it's a peace of mind knowing that your device is genuine and not tampered with. It's a two-way street. It also helps us ensure that whoever takes the device from us does not take it and cannibalize it and sell it for parts and bring it back to us and claim warranty against us, because we offer 12 months warranty, right? So that's why this is one of the major differentiation, which is our technical skills and our technology to be able to do all these things. Right? So that's why SMEs are keen to work with us, because we can guarantee the quality. Quality. Why it matters? Yes, it really does matter. Because when it comes to quality, if you don't provide warranty as well as quality, right? So which is why we also offer 12 months warranty for all our devices. So every devices that come to us, things that we repair, either it's an iPad, Apple Watch, phone, or a MacBook, we offer 1 year warranty. Okay. There are some customers which offer 2 months warranty. Sorry, not 2 months, 2 years warranty. Those are the ones that buy extended warranties from us. So there are some customers that lease devices from us or buy the extended warranties, then they add in additional 1 more year. But on every device that we do is definitely 12 months warranty for all devices. Okay. So it adds on to the peace of mind of customers, the SME markets. By the way, not only the SME markets, to also retail markets. Okay. Some of the disruptions that we are currently doing, you will see that we started this. These are all things that we launched in January and February and March. So we did battery replacement promotion, 1 year warranty. We are promoting the app. Then you see that we have the iPhones 10. Yes, we do pre-love iPhones. You can just download our app, and from our app you'll be able to see all the different models that we have. All the devices that we have in there comes with 365 days warranty and just pure device. So we want to keep the price low for the market to make it affordable. Then the extended warranty is, you can see, protect your phone with an additional warranty, which is 849 ringgit. So that helps with water damage, screen damage, and whatever not. Because especially screen damage is very, 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 very pricey. Okay. Partnerships. We're working with Union Space. whereby we offer it to all their users. Coming up will be some of the other co-working, so that's still being worked out. So Union Space is really on board. We specialize also very much in level 3 repair. Oh, by the way, just to go back to talk about the technical facilities, there are 3 levels of repair: level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 repair is just simple change battery and screen. Level 2 is changing your ribbon, touches your ribbon into the motherboard of the device, of the hardware onto the motherboard. Level 3 is actually motherboard itself. So upgrading of a memory is the motherboard itself. So we have the skill set to upgrade memory as good as that, right? So which is why our setup is a bit different. Our technical guys are a bit better. And of course, one of the hot things is that we are doing is the Apple Watch. We are trying to push the Apple Watch because we believe the Apple Watch is actually a very very good, and of course very cool device. So we are pushing that for the month of March until the MCO hit. Okay. So some of our partners that's actually confirmed with us. So we have a company called Superman. They are an app provider for healthcare. So they were already confirmed with us to take up iPads, basically iPads for ambulances, right, for e-hailing. So it was supposed to launch on the 13th of March with the YB Lee Boon Chai as the special guest, because we already got Superman already got MOH and MOT approval. So obviously because of the change in government, that didn't happen, and then immediately 5 days after that, then the total shutdown, MCO happened. So all this has been put on hold, but we hope that it will be revived, because we are still in contact with the 2 NGO organizations to speak to them to see when can we start this again. So so this is one of the SME markets that we're tapping into. The other SME markets that we are tapping into is leasing and repairing of devices, the RMA. Okay, so we bundle in the iPads for 4 ringgit a day. So 4 ringgit a day for the next 24 months. So it's about 120 ringgit a month, whereby remember the 0 downtime policy. Okay, what happens is that within the next 24 months, we do a 0 downtime policy of a 1-for-1 swap. So imagine that if you're F&B, you're running some steamboat with 40 outlets that have 40 iPads, 1 iPad, 1 table, you've got 5 iPads that's down. Imagine that. So you have that 5, so you're losing business, right? So what happens? You're going to send it to Apple Store will take 7 days. So what happens is that if they're our customer, we do a 1-for-1 swap. On the same day, if they're within Klang Valley, we send a Lala Move, then it's a 1-for-1 swap. 5-for-5 swap, then they just download their app again and they're up and running, then we repair it again, right? So that's what we do. So because we want to have 0 downtime. So some of the partners that we already in discussion and already confirmed, as I said, High Hive is a community, then there's Slurp, there's Elements, there's Topos, Komana, eMenu, Union Space, as I mentioned earlier. We are repairing for Com Asia, and then of course Silver Lake. And then we are in the midst of tendering for 3 different companies for RMA projects, so that we can repair their devices as well. So that's why in the last 3 or 4 months, we realized that there are more and more repairs required. Maybe because everybody's locked at home, so everybody's online at home, working from home, right? So some of the leasing that we're currently doing, this is the MacBook leasing, okay? And this is the iPads leasing. And some of the trade-ins that will happen, this is all, now we only have Apple, but soon we'll be doing Android as well. So these are all going out into our app coming. Our location is also a startup showcase. So what we do is that we sort of run it like because we have iPads there to show people that walk in, rather than to see if it's a hardware. So what we do is that we run other companies' apps on it, so that they can get to experience other people's application, and hopefully if they like it, they will contact the other startups and get a sale. Okay. So these are some of the startups that we are working with. Okay, now this is something which I think you guys are waiting for, our business expansion. So our concept is that we Malaysia first. We do Malaysia first. Then we replicate across Southeast Asia. Okay, so there are 4 colors. Blue is spare parts. We're focusing on the repair and the spare parts. So at the end of the day, our vision and mission, which I failed to mention earlier, is actually to be a out of warranty repair partner for the network operators. When I say the network operators for Malaysia, I mean Telecom Malaysia, Celcom, Digi, U Mobile, Axis. Yeah, mentioned. Yes, all mentioned. So we want to be their repair partners. Why? Because there's 7 million users of iPhones in Malaysia. Okay, not to mention the iPads and the MacBooks. So we want to partner somebody so that we can revenue share their database and we revenue share our repair facilities. Right? So we want to collaborate. That's all about collaboration. So on top of that, we also do extended warranty, which is insurance, and of course we also do high quality accessories. So for Apple users, please, in the last couple of days, we have repaired quite a few cracked LCDs for 10s and 10. Please buy a good tempered glass because the screen costs 1,999 ringgit. Okay, just to let you know. Then, of course, we have our tool itself, which is the diagnostic tool. It also does big data. I'm sure everybody knows that. And last but not least is leasing. We intend to go because it has the profile of the end user, so we are able to safely use it as a leasing capability to track the location, the whereabouts, and also the lifespan of actually the device itself. The rate is the area that we want to reduce digital junk. So we want to. The reason why we do pre-loved devices, and Second Life, the company is called Second Life, is because we want to do extend the life cycle of your digital devices. So rather than go and buy a brand new one, so why not just use it extra 1 or 2 years longer? So let us help you repair and maintain it better and extend the lifespan. So it is cost effective. It's about recycling. It's about go green, and obviously it's about job opportunity because we need to grow this technical skill set of repairing, and it's a very niche technical. Just to go back to why are we partnered with our international principals, because they are able to give us upscaling of our skill set to repair newer and newer devices as they launch. So the 12 is coming up, so we will be sending our guys there to learn how to repair the new devices come up. Okay. Then the orange boxes are we intend to open our own technical academy as well, whereby we want to train our own guys. Then we offer them internship, obviously, and once they are able to good enough, then we absorb them. Not good enough, then off they go to do their own things, right? So we want to be a game changer, as you can see, disruptor, and of course the Apple Watch is actually the health segment in the market that we're going into. Okay, the people behind this company, as Kash already mentioned, myself, Jerome, I'm co-founder and chief executive officer. I started my career in Anderson in consulting and analysis, very much into telco-related consulting. I was in Digi, I started Packet One, I was in U Mobile, there's an MVNO called Baraka, then I was in Indonesia, LTE, and it's owned by First Media, which is similar to StarHub. So I've spent many years in the telecoms world. So my co-founder is Alan. He's the CTO. He also is quite a gadget geek, I would say. I met him when he was in Digi, when we were both in Digi. Then he went to Nokia, Huawei. Then last couple of years, he spent his time rolling out Times franchise in Thailand. So he has good knowledge about the Thai market. And our mentor, investor advisor is Dr. Sri Suzali. So his last posting was Group CEO of DM, I think, and then CEO of Celcom. Before that, he held high positions in Astro, TV7, and of course VAT. So we are very much geared towards the telco market. You can see we have more than, definitely, all add together, we definitely have more than 45 years experience in the telco industry. Okay, talk about the opportunity. I put 655 million asterisk population, and this is the Southeast Asia population. Okay, I just want to put it up there because our JV agreement with our shareholders, with our international partners, is Southeast Asia and beyond. Okay, so basically, what I've shown in here is that what we are targeting is only a fraction of the Malaysian market. The 1.2, the 0.018% is only a fraction of the Malaysian market, which is the 7 million units, and the 0.09 in the year 2, year 3 is 0.23. And on the right hand side, you will see I've put down a list of all the different devices that's in our network operators ecosystem. As you can see, a lot of them are still using old devices. So there's opportunity for us, number one. In fact, we already seen it in the last 3 months that we have went live, is upgrade memory, because people don't want to buy a new one because the new phone is too expensive. They want to upgrade the memory because older phones come with only 16 gig or 32 gig, so they want to upgrade to 128, especially the 6 and the 6S and the 7 Plus. Then change battery, extend the lifespan of their digital device. So not many people want to buy a brand new one. That is a very small percentage of the market. So that's what we're trying to do. So we're trying to make it affordable to, number one, to repair, to maintain RMA, and number two, we give them peace of mind. And obviously, we also do pre-love. So if you want, we also sell you the device, but you don't have to go and buy a brand new. Okay. A bit more about the financials. Okay, year one. My numbers for year one is provided that we hit our 1.5 million raise. This is based on we hit our 1.5 million. I start off fresh with the 1.5 million cash inside our bank, but obviously we don't have that, so I have to start step by step. So our number of units that we are targeting is 1,140 units per year. Then the extended warranty is 228. Then second year is actually 6,300 and extended warranty of 1.2. And third year is 16,000. Okay, let me give you a breakdown of how we get those numbers and the revenue with it. Okay, so first year revenue is about 2 million. I think we should be able to hit that if we had that 1.5 million in the bank. The reason why I say that is because the numbers is not that hard to hit. You will see I've broken it down into microeconomics, whereby retail, leasing, repair. So it's only 320 units for retail. I need to sell in a year. I need to lease 320 units in a year. And of course, we work with distributors as well, by the way, resellers, we call them. So 180 units and repair 320 units in a year. So basically, if you can see, it's almost on average 1 repair per day. Actually, it's 300. The number divided by 12 divided by 25 days. Okay, that's the number. Second year's numbers, the revenue, okay, is 2.8, and 0.4 and 2.8. The microeconomics. I'm just referring to microeconomics because it's easier. Once you break it down into microeconomics, then you know whether are these guys talking rods or are these guys actually literally talking. So for year 2, we will have 2 locations in Klang Valley. Actually, one of the reasons why we're raising money is because we want to accelerate it so we can do it in year 1 rather than year 2, right? To have the second location in Klang Valley. So then in year 3 is 4 locations, which includes Penang and Johor. And already have interested parties coming, inquiring about franchise opportunity already. So we may even grow faster than that. So you will see the economics in terms of I just put it down there, so whereby you can see the total number of units per day is not that difficult to achieve. So for us to hit the revenue, it's not that difficult to hit that revenue. It's not. We're not shooting for the stars or the galaxy. Actually, my baseline model is actually very, very, as I say, very sane and very baseline. So for us, there are people who ask us about, are you sure a 10 million valuation? Well, if I hit my second year's revenue, I'm definitely above 10 million revenue valuation. And you don't value a company based on the first 2 years, right? So anyway, we can debate that. We can discuss more about that. Just on the right hand side, I just wanted to share with you when we went live on December, Christmas, not a good time to go live. So don't launch during the festive period, especially if you're in services. Everybody's on holiday. So we sold nothing. We repaired nothing. But in February, when we came back from Chinese New Year, we did about 3,000 plus. And then after that, we did about ad spend on social media. Then we hit up about 13,500. So that was until March 17, and then everything shut down. So we are back to zero again. So you can see the jump. It may not be a hockey stick, but it is definitely going upwards because there's a demand there for repair RMA. Okay, the interesting part, what we are offering, we are a bit special. We are doing a bit of interest, equity plus protection. Let me explain the interest first. Okay, so ours is 90 cents per share. So our minimum buy-in is 1,800 ringgit. You get your shares. You also get a voucher for 20% battery replacement. Okay. Anything above 5,000, you get your voucher plus a premium T-shirt. I just washed all mine, so I don't not happening to be wearing one. Just yesterday went to work, so I washed it already. And then if anything above 20,000, you get all the above: the battery voucher, the T-shirt, plus also a pre-loved Apple Watch. Most likely going to be a Series 4 Apple Watch. Okay, and so what is the interest that you get on all these shares? Well, it's actually a yearly cumulative 8% per year accumulated, but non-compounded to maximum of 24%. So basically you get 24%. Okay, and it's structured in an RCPS redeemable convertible preference shares, and you are protected. What do I mean by protected? Okay, we target to pay out from month 24 onwards, or earlier or later, depending on whether when regulatory approves, when we meet the regulatory for declaring dividends, because you need to be able to be positive EBITDA in order to pay dividends, right? So what the protection means is that in order, it's really drafted and executed on our shareholders agreement, whereby our RCPS investors are protected because the directors and the shareholders cannot take dividends until your interest is paid off, you are covered. So you need to take back your investment first before we can even take any interest, any dividends ourselves. So that's why we put in additional protection for our investors. Okay. On top of that, when we pay you the interest, you have a choice to either redeem or convert. So if you redeem, we give you an additional 20% on your subscription price. So $1.80 will give you additional 20% on top of that. But if you redeem, if you convert, then you convert to ordinary shareholders, then you join us. Okay. In fact, we look forward for you to join us. Okay, what are we spending on? Well, just a bit. Share with you. We're going to spend 5% on marketing, not a lot. We're going to spend 15% on the new store that we're going to open. Is on Klang Valley side. It's going to be on the KL side. We want to take care of KL market as well. 55% goes into inventory because this is a very capital-intensive game. A device can cost as much as 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So it depends, So you need cash to do this. In fact, as I mentioned, I was already doing 3 tenders for RMA, and 3 of the tenders also includes 200,000 of tablets of Samsung tablets for tendering for construction, new condo, and 200 iPads, and also another 200 iPads for another insurance company. So these are all capital intensive, so we need cash for that. That's why majority goes into inventory. Then operation is about 20%. Last but not least, 5% is on equipment that we need for the new location, new store opening. Okay. My last slide is actually join us. Just to share with you why is it SecondLifeAsia Kuala Lumpur, SecondLifeAsia Jakarta, SecondLifeAsia Bangkok. That's our target for 2022 and 2023. So either 2022, 2023, we're going to be in Jakarta or in Bangkok. So either one. So do join us. So I hope my presentation was not too fast because I didn't want to take up too much of your time. So feel free to ask any questions that you have.
Thank you, Jerome. That was not too fast, just nice. I think it was very clear, your presentation. I enjoyed it. And, we already have someone who has raised hands. Let me enable Gavin to talk.
Hi, thanks. Hi, Jerome. Thanks.
Hi, Gavin. Hi, Gavin.
Hey, hi. I was introduced by Zehan to come on to listen to your pitch on your business in a whole, actually.
Yes. Hi. Hi, Gavin.
Yep. Hey, thanks for the presentation. So I just have a very, very, very quick understanding, because based on your pitch here, you have covered this and that, and then you did mention you are going B2B, right? So, and then when you go B2B, then if you go back to slide 22.
Yep.
You go back to slide 22. So are all these numbers that you're talking about mostly on business, or is it on individuals as well? Because the whole target market that you're looking at is, for one step, you were saying that there's a lot of people that wants repair, and then after that you have a vision to achieve a B2B business model, right?
Yes.
So what kind of split that you're looking at? Because I'm a bit confused on what's your actual target market here, because you're basing your numbers on individuals, and then at the same time you are saying you're going to B2B.
Okay, thank you. Actually, you brought up a very, very, very pertinent question. My numbers are very much based on, my Pitch 22 numbers are all based on phones, just iPhones, repair of iPhones, because that's the easiest number for me to get, because that's because of our telco background, we are able to get the numbers, right? So it doesn't include the iPads, and it doesn't include the MacBook. So my iPads in Malaysian market is about 1,500 to 1,700. MacBooks is about 4 mil, 4.5 mil, right? So it doesn't include that. And the reason why I didn't build a forecast for a B2B market is because B2B market is we are not trying to sell them a device, but we want to grab the repair the RMA. So what I've done is that I've built a retail market model in terms of financials, and I break it down into microeconomics. That, you know what, if every day one person, for my first year, I just refer back to first year this year. If my first year every day somebody walk in to either buy a device, lease a device, which is when we do leasing, we work together with our point of sales providers, because we offer them the leasing to their customers. And of course, our distributors, people will take our devices for sale, and there are some of them, not big, but we're intending to grow that. And of course, the repair. So if every day one person just walk in, so basically if you round out, it's about 4. If we do one of each the first day, I will meet my numbers. And this doesn't include the B2B market that we are actively hunting down, right? So the reason why I said that, when I built my business case on the retail, but the bonus upside is actually that, you know what, besides doing the retail, which is the baseline, I'm hunting for all this B2B. So we are already actively hunting all the B2Bs. In fact, as I mentioned, we are more catered towards the B2B market than retail. Retail market is when because I come from the retail background in terms of operators, you need to obviously build a brand, then you need to spend money on advertising. Then once people know about you, they see your ad, then they walk in and repair. So for us, that we definitely need more than one repair, I think. So
correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, because the way I look at, you would have partnered with some of your main service providers like Maxis, Celcom, and DG. So I presume, take for example, if I'm an iPhone user, I bought the iPhone from Celcom through a plan. Okay, just saying. Okay.
Yes.
So my phone falls off, or it breaks, and it's under the warranty of Celcom, saying. So if I go to Celcom, and Celcom will pass the phone back to you, am I right?
Okay. So which is why in our vision is actually very much out of warranty service provider, right?
Okay.
So the out of warranty. So for example, if you now buy a phone, if you buy an 11 or 11 Pro now, you still get 12 months warranty. So if you break something, hopefully you have bought extended warranty, then Celcom would most likely, if you bought the extended warranty, then Celcom will replace the screen for you. If not, then you'll probably be out of pocket for 2,000 ringgit for 11. Okay, so that is the new devices. So what we do is that we do T-1, so out of warranty. So what about all the 10S and downwards all the way until the 6 and the 6S, right? So in total, there's about 7 million of them floating in the 4 operators. Basically, 7 million of the older devices. It needs to be repaired, right? So why, as I said, that actually 2 years ago, we already started this project with the operator. Then, one of the CEOs decided that we'll build the proof of concept first, then we talk again. So, okay, it took me a while to raise the money. Because, I'm a corporate guy, not a fundraiser guy, so it took us a while. So we're here, managed to raise the seed. So we went live. We are repairing devices already. We got our skill set. We got our JV partners in. So obviously our end game is actually to be a repair partner for the network operator for every country that we go. So it could be TM. If it's TM, it's great. If it's Celcom, it's also good. Or Maxis, U-Mobile, or Digi, because there's just on device alone or mobile phone alone, there's at least 1 million to 2 million in each of the operators, roughly, with Celcom being the least. What we want to do is we partner with them for out of warranty. All they have to do is just inform their base. Now if you have any damage or anything, just go to our preferred partner to repair nationwide, and you get a better deal than you repair outside because it comes with 12 months warranty. Gives you peace of mindset. Because it's original parts, it's not OEM parts, and most important of all, the operators get a revenue share. So it is a revenue sharing portion of what the operator don't currently get. See, so that's the end game for them as well, which is why we had this discussion 2 years back. Just to share with you what's happening in the States. This is exactly what happened in the States 4 or 5 years ago. Yeah, five years ago. When AT&T, Clearwire, Sprint, Verizon, Telefonica, when our JV partner started this project, they embarked exactly as what we are trying to do, work together with the operators, target the operators' devices, right? Then the revenue and offer revenue sharing back to the operator, because it's a revenue which the operators cannot get. Don't forget, this piece of revenue goes into third parties now. So the operators obviously is looking for ways to generate more value-added revenues, right? So they cannot just be doing a downpipe all the while. So this is a revenue, as I said, they want. So in the States, the revenue became so huge that the operator actually bought the repair facilities and took back the repair facilities under themselves. See, so that's our end game as well. Just to share, I think I shared a bit too detailed. Sorry.
Okay.
Correct.
Sorry. So I hope I answered.
I'm not too sure how will the operators actually give you a direct API access to their customers?
I don't need to. I don't need the direct API. So what we want to do is just because all operators are already running an app, all operators already have the emails of the consumers. So all they have to do is just select email, iPhone emails, send them blast or SMS, or send them blast or a voucher, or send them something that's on the app itself or on SMS, right? So if you have a damaged phone, walk into our partners' facilities to repair, and you repair cheaper than the market outside, number one. Original parts, of course, and 12 months warranty. And on top of that, you maybe get some gimmicks from the operator themselves. Maybe they're throwing top up of 5 ringgit or reloads of 100 meg, which is nothing for them. It's data, right? So, and then...
because this part, I think it becomes very sensitive because you are dealing
right.
with informations of different telcos. Fair enough, because you mentioned in slide 20, you have a partnership with TM now, right? Am I right?
Not yet.
Yeah. So TM will be very comfortable to do this with you. But if Maxis, if you would approach Maxis, just a very good example, okay? If you approach Maxis and say, hey, I'm having a facility, I have all these things, so each time you recommend your customers to me, Maxis will of course, at a certain point, it's not a direct API, but they're exposing their customers to you as well. So when they expose the customers to you, they will always run a risk that in the event the customer goes to you and it was converted to another service provider because of certain things. That's where the sensitivity comes in. You might be able to run this in one ISP, but the other ISP will be like, hey, if I work with you, if I give you access to my customers, then what if something trickles through and then I'm losing my customer because I'm passing it down to you? Yes, you do not operate it, but of course there's some sensitive things that they will not share to a certain extent, because there's all this kind of things. If you work with one partner, I'm absolutely fine, because I've seen like people wanting to have this kind of platform as well. That's where the contentious point comes in. What kind of information goes to you? Because if you have the app, all the information will come to you, right? So if it's a B2B, more likely they will not give you the B2B account because the account belongs to them.
Okay.
So this is a point that you have to think. I think you have to look into the business of the model itself. Even if it's individual, you're creating a platform. Yes, people just go up, so that's fine. But if you are not downloading, as in you're relying on a platform that comes from the ISPs and all your providers, definitely I think this question will come into place to say, so how do I safeguard?
Okay, I think probably Jerome is taking a call right now. I can't hear him. Hi, Jerome. Can't hear you. I think there's a technical problem on your side. So anyway, Gavin, thank you very much for that questions. Some of this discussion I think can be taken offline.
Sure.
Jerome will definitely be sharing his contact details. Or you can go to our platform page at PitchIN, and then you can find the page there. You can ask the questions there. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you very much, Jerome, Gavin, for that.
Thank you. Great presentation. Great.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And we also have a question that's coming in a text form. So for that, let me. Jerome, are you able to speak now? Can you? We can't hear you. Okay, so there's a technical problem there. We are not able to hear you, Jerome. Now? Hello? Yes, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Okay. So there's a question that asks, who's currently doing iPhone repairs and maintenance for the telcos? No. Okay, you can't hear. Okay. So in that case, friends, sorry for the guy who asked the question. We have a major technical problem. So Jerome is not able to, his voice is lost all audio. So anyway, that question is a little bit, Jerome, I think it's going in and out. Maybe you want to kill your screen first. Okay, no problem. I think what we'll do is just remember that this session is not the only way that you can connect with SecondLifeAsia. They're currently live on our platform at PitchIN. If you go in and register, and registration at PitchIN for investors is absolutely free. Go in and register. You can then access the SecondLifeAsia page. You can ask your questions there, and you can also check out the entire offer that is there. And I can assure you that SecondLifeAsia is already live. In other words, their campaign will end in a matter of days. So if you want to jump on board, now is the time. You also saw the rewards that were being offered, pretty good rewards, especially for an Apple user. You can get some discounts and even get a watch if you invest more than 20,000 ringgit. And so what I would like to do, Jerome, if it's okay with you, is to end the session now. And for those who wish to, please do go over to the website and ask your questions there. And thank you very much, Jerome. Maybe you just wave to let me know that you are listening to me. No? Okay, so I think he's lost all audio. So anyway, I want to thank all the participants who are here and also on Facebook. Thank you very much for joining us. Second Life Asia currently raised more than 150,000, and their campaign will end not too long from now. See you at PitchIN. Thank you very much.